Hello, everyone. Welcome courtside along with my partner, Nick Anastos. I'm Ben Alcher. The third member of our team, Chris Granozio, will join us in just a little bit. Well, Nick, the time has come. The host team, the #1 seed, St. Anselm Hawks, getting ready to take the floor against the CACC tournament champions, Caldwell Cougars. The Cougars come in, one of the hottest teams in the region, a young group that has really energized the rest of the region, but they are going up against a team that is looking to exploit their home court advantage.
Yeah, St. Anselm over the years, so tough to be in this building, especially when it's packed. And as we can see, it is about as packed as it gets at capacity here, with most of them being enthusiastic St. Anselm students in a whiteout here. So there's definitely a home floor advantage today for St. Anselm. However, you take a look at this Caldwell roster, and as you said, they're playing their best basketball at exactly the right time. They ripped through the CACC tournament and never really looked back. And that was after a solid year in conference of 14-4. So this is a team that's been playing well all season long. They've elevated their play at the right time. And again, sometimes when you got a young team kind of playing with house money, nobody really expected you to be here, that can almost help you in terms of playing with less pressure, playing not to lose, etc. So some may see this as a trap game for St. Anselm. The Hawks are definitely the favorites with the home court advantage, but don't be surprised if this young Caldwell team hangs around as this game gets late.
Well, Caldwell talked to their head coach, Dean Johnson, yesterday. He said, we may be young, but we are not afraid, and we are not going to play afraid tomorrow. And so that's what we can expect from the Cougars. Here's a look at the updated bracket. Southern New Hampshire started the day taking out St. Thomas Aquinas 78-64. Bentley survived a late flurry from Dominican, holding on for a 10-point victory. Those two sides will match up tomorrow. Caldwell is right now the only team in position to play spoiler from it being a Northeast 10 Final Four in this regional.
Yeah, we had 5 of the 8 obviously coming in from the NE10, and 2 double-digit games. Bentley and Southern New Hampshire both look good, particularly in the second half earlier today. So the Hawks obviously playing for themselves first and foremost, but want to carry on the excellence that the conference has achieved so far today.
All right, our Chris Granozio is standing by.
We have 2 coaches with a lot of experience on the sidelines. Keith Dixon picked up his 700th career win late in the season against New Haven. And you got Dean Johnson, who was a over 30-year assistant under this man, Mark Carino, who's got 606 career wins as the head coach of Caldwell, athletic director as well. Mark, you must be really proud of Dean, what he's accomplished.
Yes, I'm certainly very proud. It's great to be in this atmosphere tonight. And, you know, the team's accomplishments, they're young. It's a great opportunity for them. So we're really excited about us being able to see what we're capable of doing today.
Thanks for spending some time with us. Congrats, 606 career victories. One of a handful of men to reach that level, along with Keith Dixon at St. A's. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Chris. There is Keith Dixon, the head coach of the Hawks, now in his 37th year, recorded his 700th career victory in the regular season finale against New Haven. So legendary coaches all around the region. We just saw one in Jay Lawson for Bentley. We get another one here for St. Anselm. It is just about time for the starting introduction, so let's send you over to the PA announcer, Drew Litz, here in Manchester.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 2023 NCAA Division II Men's Basketball Championship at St. Anselm College in Goffstown, New Hampshire. Tonight's first round championship game features the Cougars of Caldwell and the Hawks of St. Anselm. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. From Caldwell, a guard, 6-foot freshman from Deer Park, New York, #1, Darnell Evans. From St. Anselm, a guard, 6'3", senior from Bristol, Connecticut, #0, Tyler Arbuckle. At guard, a 6'1" sophomore for Caldwell from Paterson, New Jersey, #3, Mark Heber. For St. Anselm, a guard, 6'6" junior from Fairfield, Connecticut, #3, Matt Becker. For Caldwell, At guard, a 6-foot freshman from Newark, New Jersey, number 4, Kirk Parsons. For St. Anselm at forward, a 6'7" senior from Marlton, New Jersey, number 10, Owen McGlashan. For Caldwell at forward, a 6'8" sophomore from Middle Island, New York, number 13, Jarnell Rancy. For St. Anselm at forward, a 6'7" sophomore from Victoria, Australia, number 13, Zach Taylor. And at forward for Caldwell, a 6'9" freshman from Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, number 33, Landon Shivers. Head coach, Dean Johnson. And finally, for St. Anselm at guard, a 6'5" graduate student from Palo Alto, California, number 23, Miles Tension. Head coach Keith Dixon.
Time now to take a look at the starting lineups for the two teams. You just heard them introduced. Take a look at the Caldwell group first. Great backcourt with Darnell Evans, Mark Keeper, Kirk Parsons. But Jarnell Rancy is dominant on the defensive end.
How about 6'8" with length and toughness inside? He's athletic as well, and where he goes, they follow.
Nation's leading shot blocker, over 100 on the year, almost 30 more than any other player in the country. For the Hawks, usual starting five: Tyler Arbuckle, Miles Tension, Owen McGlashan, Zach Taylor. And Tyler Arbuckle has really come into his own since the new year.
MVP of the Northeast 10 tournament, MOP, excuse me, most outstanding player, and for good reason. He can score in bunches, Ben. He's explosive. He can get into rhythm. He can score inside, outside, can drop that shoulder. Fun player to watch, one of the most dynamic offensive players we've seen in a while.
Caldwell wearing the red, St. Anselm in the home white. Cougars win the tip, and we are underway. The 1-8 matchup in the East region. Caldwell hoping to spoil it from being an all any 10 affair tomorrow. Early shot off the mark. Becker will bring it back the other way. Zach Taylor's first touch, hands to Miles Tension. Arbuckle wants it early against Darnell Evans. Tries to attack him in the post, but Evans picks his pocket. Evans off to the races, quick feed, a quick trigger, a three-point shot is off, but an offensive rebound falls to Parsons. Back to Darnell Evans, he'll take the three. That one too strong, rebound tipped around and eventually into the hands of Tension.
Well, 3 perimeter shots right out of the gate. All of them challenged, and all of them end up off target. Caldwell needs to settle down a little bit. I think some nerves here in the first minute.
McGlashan tries to draw Rancy out of the paint. Tension in the low post, turns, fades, middle of the lane and hits.
Hawks with a size advantage on the perimeter, no doubt. Tension's bigger, Arbuckle's bigger, Becker's bigger than the guys guarding them. That time he just shoots right over the top in the paint for a 14-footer.
Question is, how does Caldwell adjust? Can they get Rancy to help out a little bit? Or will the perimeter forwards of the Hawks be able to lure him out? Pull-up jumper rolls out for Parsons. Tough start for the Cougars. They're 0 for 4.
And all 4 come outside the painted area.
McGlashan into the corner. Taylor, a quick three. Too strong. And the rebound snatched up by Evans. Freshman was an all-conference first-teamer, all-region first-teamer as well.
He's quick. He's lightning quick. We saw him strip Arbuckle on the first possession. Got good hands.
Can fill it up as well. Averages 19 a game. Here's a long two for Heber. Sophomore out of Patterson, New Jersey.
Coach Johnson talked to you, Ben, about playing fearless, right? Well, they're certainly not coming out here gun-shy at all as they look to capitalize on those mid-range opportunities, and they finally get one.
Arbuckle works off the screen, attacks the paint, rises into the contact, shot off. Rancy might have bothered that one. Not an official block, but certainly affected it.
Yeah, Shivers was in the lane as well. Those are the two bigs, those two rim protectors that alter shots as they did there.
Little shake and bake from Heber. Shivers moves it back over to Evans behind the ball screen. Top of the arc. Around it comes for Parsons. Behind the screen, he fires a three. It rims out. Slow start for both sides here in this one. 2-2, 2.5 minutes in. McGlashan turns behind the screen, thought about the shot, but Shivers quick to close. Becker with it, drives, tries to keep Evans at arm's length, but again, Evans paws it loose. Back the other way, Heber to the hoop. No, but a foul, and he'll go to the line. That's going to be on Arbuckle. First foul against him, first of the ball game.
Quick hands again by Evans. Gets Heber out where he can make some magic happen in the open floor. Attack mode that time. Gets to the rim, and we'll head to the free throw line for the first time either way here with 3 minutes gone.
Easy to love what you see from the Cougars offensively, but they are actually one of the best defensive teams in the country this year, third best in the nation, allowing teams to shoot just 39% from the field.
They get those 3 guards on the perimeter, all about 6 feet, 6'1", lightning quick. You're not careful with the basketball, you can get your pocket picked, as we've seen already twice in the first 3 minutes.
Heber buries both. He's better than 90% at the line. He's got all 4 of Caldwell's points. McGlashan on the play-by, gets to the rim and hammers it down.
A little miscommunication there. Nobody home on the backside. Just a basic pick and roll, and nobody stops the ball.
Owen McGlashan in career years, scoring 12 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, elevated to a starting role this season. Here's Heber. Into the corner, Rancy. 7 to shoot. Heber attacks Becker. Fade away from inside the arc is good. And Mark Heber off to a hot start.
A little jab step frees up enough room to put that one up over the bigger defender.
Straight away 3 won't go for McGlashan. Heber there for the rebound. Evans on the push. Lobs it. Shivers, too tall for him.
Right idea. Evans gives kind of a sheepish glance over to Coach Johnson after letting that one fly, but Coach said, okay, I like the idea of the backcourt alley-oop. Just got to get that pass a little better, a little more on target next time.
As we've seen over the first 2 games of this regional, Nick, this first 5 to 10 minutes, really a feeling out process, especially when you have teams that have not seen each other a lot. Becker on the drive, fouled on the dunk attempt. He's going to go to the line. We'll see who they give this to. Either Shivers or Rancy. It is going to be on Rancy, so that's something to keep an eye on, his first foul. And it'll get us to our first timeout. 15:54 to go in the first half. Caldwell 6, St. Anselm 1. We'll take a quick timeout here from Manchester. H.C. Caldwell in front of top seed.
Video broadcast.
In front of top seed St. Anselm 6-4. We've got Chris Granozio over on the sideline.
Well, as you can undoubtedly pick up on your broadcast, this place is insane. The atmosphere is outstanding. And with Caldwell being here as a first-time opponent in the NCAA tournament, you'd think they're just happy to be here. No, they've got a design and a plan, and they want to limit St. Anselm with their defensive touches and their offense, and they want to play very hard on tension and Arbuckle. But right now, the atmosphere favors St. A, and it's going to be crazy all game long. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit in the pregame, but you can see when the camera gets that wide shot, how many students are here. You got the white shirts everywhere. And talking to Keith Dixon yesterday, he said this has been as good a home crowd environment as it has been at any point in his tenure.
Yeah. I think at one point he compared it to the mid-'90s,
yep.
which I do actually remember as a kid coming here, and I can attest. There were some days like this where it's packed. Everybody's excited to be here. And again, the students coordinating is a cool thing too. It's a whiteout here, which really adds to the home court advantage for St. A's.
Coach Dixon saying the fact that it's students really makes it feel like a true college atmosphere. Mark Heber right now silencing the crowd.
Yeah.
He's got all 9 of Caldwell's points.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We haven't really heard this crowd yet either, 5 minutes in.
McGlashan on the drive, double teamed, extra pass to the corner. Becker, another kick, tension from the wing. Misses the 3. Evans looking to push back the other way. Finds Heber, fires another three. Short on that one though, and Tension pulls it down. Tension on the drive, gets all the way in, floats it out. Taylor from deep, that won't go. Rebound slapped out of bounds by Shivers.
Ben, you mentioned before the break that seemingly the first 5-6 minutes is kind of a feeling out process because they haven't played each other, etc. I would argue again, it's also a process to get reacclimated to game speed. It's been a full week since St. A's has played. Nearly the same for Caldwell.
Arbuckle swallowed up, but he gets the tip follow and the foul. Tyler Arbuckle not to be denied there.
Well, he follows his own miss. And a good job there, fading to his left, able to regroup quickly and get that one back up over the rim for two.
Foul was called on Kirk Parsons, his first, second team foul.
Such a big part of his game, the slash into the lane. And you got to box him out if you do force the miss.
Second chance opportunity, deep three, off the mark from Tension. Evans there with a rebound, and he looks to run out again. Derek Bueno just into the ball game, a sophomore from Palisades Park, New York. They lob it to him. He elevates but misses the hook shot inside against Tension. Handoff off the leg of Taylor and out of bounds. A little bit of a discombobulated start here for the home team.
Again, I think it's due to the time off. I mean, a week off between games, that's the longest stretch since December. So, you put on all that effort mentally, physically to win the conference tournament, and then you got to kind of sit around and wait a full week. Game day finally rolls around. You got to sit around till 5 o'clock and this thing gets started. So, understandably, there's a little bit of rust here for St. Anselm.
Hawks try to push it quick. Becker finds the trailer. It's Taylor, and he knocks down a three. Well, we'll see if that's the cork on the champagne bottle for the Hawks.
Right.
Sometimes those threes can fall fast and furious. They had started 0 for 5 before that make from Taylor.
They're still only 3 of 10 from the floor, Ben, but they're only down a point, despite all that.
Parsons on the drive and kick. Evans out of the corner, fakes, attacks Tension. Tough floater. Tension may have bothered the shot. And the Hawks come up with a stop. Now Tension on the move, pushes down the middle of the lane. Handoff, Taylor lost it, and then Tension picked it up out of bounds.
Now Taylor's got to shoot that. He knows it.
He saw Rancy in front of him and thought better of it maybe.
Yep, but you gotta put that up. A little ball fake, okay. See if the defender wants to buy it. Go up into the contact, but you don't give it right back. The spacing wasn't there for that bounce pass. Tension caught it out of bounds.
Inside it goes to Bueno, backing down, double team comes. Bueno fights through it and will get to the line. Just a little too big for Owen McGlashan there, who commits the foul, his first.
Well, he's come in and changed the dynamic of the game immediately. I mean, he's now a bona fide low post threat. And at 6'7", 230 on paper, he's probably the biggest player on the floor either way right now. He's commanded the basketball in that low block the last 2 trips. And again, he's changed the complexity of this game over the last minute or so.
He has not started a game all season. However, he has been instrumental in Caldwell's success. He was the CACC tournament MVP, 22 points, 9 rebounds in the final against Jefferson.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And guys who have come off the bench always say that. Don't need to start. What I do need to be is on the floor when it matters. And he's been productive.
Tension on a nice ball cut, gets to the rim.
It's a nice pass from McGlashan on the dime from the wing. Not an easy pass, but made it look easy. Timing is everything on those off-ball cuts, and the timing was perfect there for St. Anselm.
Been a one-possession game most of the way so far here in the first half, but Caldwell has had a leg out in front. Despite Evans being held scoreless, gets it back here, wants to go inside to Rancy. Trying to back down Taylor, kicked back out. Three-pointer for Evans won't go. And Becker snatches up another rebound, already his 4th. Becker wants to drive, leaves it off. McGlashan fakes the 3, spinning, lost it, and Bueno will come up with a steal.
Good defense there. Top of the key, little hedge. All of a sudden the ball's loose. Caldwell gets a turnover.
Heber wants the screen.
Same thing again, two-man game it looks like on that side of the floor. See what they do now on the reversal.
Bueno up top, gonna fire from deep. That's good, it's a 2. Foot on the line for Bueno. And again, Caldwell has an answer.
Well, Bueno throwing his weight around a moment ago on the inside, that low block, low post. All of a sudden he says, okay, I'll step out and show you what I can do in the high post and knock down a 17-footer.
Here's Tension trying to turn the corner, whips it back. Three-pointer McGlashan, splash. Right in front of the student section, and he says, let's get on our feet.
And he plays off the crowd typically. Has a lot of fun out there, little interaction back and forth with his fellow students.
Tied at 15, Bueno on the drive, runs over Becker, offensive foul. Becker saw the big man coming and stepped on the train tracks.
Yep, and that's not an easy thing to do. Takes a lot of courage to take a charge, especially against a guy that big coming down at full speed.
Timeout with 11:21 to go here. We'll keep it here in the first half. Hawks and Cougars tied at 15, but again, Caldwell not fazed by the crowd here at the start. They have been tied or ahead the entire way in this ball game, and like their coach said yesterday, they were not going to play afraid, and they have not played afraid.
They've come to play, no question. I think winning the tournament gave them a lot of confidence, and again, kind of that whole playing with house money scenario. I'm a believer in that. I think, again, they're not just going to be happy to be here, as Chris said a moment ago. They're looking to win, and why not? Why not come in here and take on the best? Hit the bully in the mouth, so to speak. They've done some things on defense, particularly over the first 5 minutes, that have caused St. A's a little bit of pause here. So probably a good timeout for both teams to get reestablished as we near the midway point first half.
So we take a look at the Caldwell resume. It has been a dream turnaround for the Cougars. 8-17 a year ago, 4-13, dead last in the CACC North, and they flipped it around this year. 21-9 coming into this one, 14-4 in the conference. And of course, winning the CACC tourney, they had to go through a battle against Chestnut Hill, and they won the CACC tournament in Philadelphia against Jefferson. Never an easy place to win.
Right, so they're battle tested on the road, neutral site, wherever. And again, they're playing their best basketball of the season, most importantly.
Becker rolls it away to Taylor, nearly had it poked away. Arbuckle looks to drive, goes at Heber into the corner. It's knocked out of bounds. Parsons got a hand on that one. Still 14 on the shot clock here for St. A's.
Yeah, they're flying around defensively. They're playing in sync, in unison. They're communicating. They're getting into the passing lanes. They're flashing those quick hands. And they're making things difficult for the Hawks.
Becker out of the corner, back up to Tension at midcourt. Over to Taylor, thought about the three, drives instead, powers it up, no, and Rancy comes flying in for the rebound.
Good job by Bueno to avoid the foul. And then it's Rancy who comes from the weak side on the rebound. It's a good defensive possession for Caldwell.
Heber wants to attack Taylor, fires it to the corner for Evans, still looking for his first points. Caldwell's leading scorer during the season, down to 10 to shoot. Parsons behind the ball screen, hands it off. Rancy back to Evans. Got to make something happen here. Shake and bake on the drive. Tied up underneath. Bueno got it away, but the three-pointer is short. And Arbuckle comes up with a rebound.
Good defensive possession by the Hawks.
Tension on the drive. Pull up for the mid-range. Too strong. And Rancy again high points the rebound. Evans again looking to run. Hand it off Heber. Scored the first 9 points for Caldwell, but has been held silent since. Evans out of the corner, tries a three. It's short. Still looking to get it going. Tough start for Evans, 0 for 5. Becker behind the back dribble, back up top McGlashan, moves to Arbuckle, floated into Tension. Finds McGlashan middle of the lane, Taylor to the corner for three. Too much on it, and Heber again runs out with it. Pull up three, and transition is good. Mark Heber with a dozen already in the first half, and the Cougars grab the lead back.
The sophomore from Paterson, New Jersey has brought his A game. No hesitation there on the pull-up from three-point lands.
McGlashan doesn't have the answer.
And again, meanwhile, Ben, the Hawks are missing shots they usually hit. Led the NE10 in three-point percentage at over 40 collectively, but that three-point ball has not been there so far.
Bueno muscles McGlashan off the spot and spins it in.
He's got a size advantage on anybody on the floor, and he's going to take advantage with that kind of gorgeous real estate that deep in the low post.
Already a half dozen off the bench for Bueno, and just like that, a mini 5-0 run as the Cougars back in front. Tension, drives, gets to the lane, scores. Somehow able to navigate around the shot blocker, Rancy. Tension's got 6. And the Hawks trying to make sure they keep the Cougars within arm's reach here.
He can score in tight spaces. We know about the three-point shot with Tension, but he can score when contested near the rim as well. He's got a natural ability to wrap that arm around, get around the defender, use the window, use his body creatively.
Contested 3 is an air ball from Heber. Arbuckle wants to run. Becker couldn't get to it. Evans saves it, comes Spider-Manning up on the scorer's table, somehow gets back on the floor. Three-pointer on the other end is off. And I believe we got a foul on Becker going over the back. Still had my eyes on Evans.
Look at the effort here by the youngster. You want to talk about fearless, Ben Ultra? That's about as fearless as it gets. Hurdling several folks courtside and then getting back in real time on defense. That's good effort by the freshman.
Looked like he kicked out one of the books, maybe the monitor as well. So they're going to pause the game for a moment, at least just to make sure everything at the table is still working. But my goodness, Darnell Evans.
That's a tone-setting play. It really is. It can be contagious.
Even though it's just really an act of self-preservation.
Yeah, but again, you're going full speed trying to get the basketball, and that's the message that you send to your teammates.
So they're going to decide to take the media timeout right here. 8:15 to go. That's going to give the officials a chance to collect themselves at the table. Going to give us a chance to take a timeout as well. 8 seed Caldwell looking to spoil the party here in Manchester. They've got a 3-point lead over the top seed St. Anselm here at the D2.
Discover you at Caldwell University. Choose from 29 nationally acclaimed undergraduate majors, including sport management and health professions. With exciting clubs and organizations and 14 NCAA athletic teams plus sprint football, Caldwell University's campus is a great place to meet new friends, explore career paths, and discover you. Visit caldwell.edu to learn more and apply now.
Looks like the repairs, whatever ones were necessary, have been made at the table. And the officials are just about ready to get back underway as we come back from the timeout. 8 seed Caldwell in front of number 1 seed St. Anselm 2017. Cougars have tied or led throughout. Hawks actually got the first 2 points of the game. But since then, the Cougars have not only been in it, but they have been in front for a lot of the way, Nick, and they have brought their defense here to Manchester for the regional, holding one of the top scoring teams in the region to just 37% shooting and 2 of 10 from 3 to start.
Yeah, that's the big stat that jumps out here. With just over 8 minutes remaining until halftime. St. Anselm over 40% on average during this regular season, the best in the conference, one of the best in the country in Division II. But again, after a week off, a little bit of rust to shake off, and the result just 2 for 10. But you have to credit, to your point, Caldwell for the defensive effort that they've been able to put forward so far.
The numbers for Caldwell actually very similar, but a 3-pointer goes down here from Parsons. That'll change the calculus. Cougars had also started 7 of 19, 2 of 11 before that make from the freshman. Matt Relihan in for the first time, the senior from Linfield for St. Anselm, replacing Zach Taylor. Not going to see a lot of rotation from the Hawks bench. 4 of their 5 starters typically play at least 30-35 minutes a game, barring foul trouble. Tension backing down, fades away. That shot won't go. Fight for the rebound, and it's picked up by Parsons. Caldwell's done an excellent job on the defensive glass.
Yeah, they have as well. Limited St. A's pretty much to 1 and done so far.
Nice spin and finish by Parsons. He averages 8 a game. He's already got 7. It's the duo of Parsons and Heber carrying the load right now for the Cougars. Arbuckle into the paint, reverses it up and in.
Home crowd wants to see more of that. Arbuckle not driven to the basket too often in this first half. That time got the step up and under for 2. That's right in his wheelhouse.
Heber attacks, lays it up and in. Got it over the top of Becker. What a start for Mark Heber.
Yeah, inside, outside.
Becker looking for the quick answer, missed it. 5-on-4 the other way. Evans looking for options. Dumped it inside, and it's put up and in by Rancy.
Good job by Caldwell on the break. They had numbers. They fan out. They create the necessary space. And then it's one-on-one inside on the entry pass to the big fella.
10-point lead, the largest for the Cougars. Evans picks it off in the backcourt. He's off to the races, a little juggle, but he lays it in anyway. That's the first bucket for Darnell Evans, and it's going to lead to a timeout from Keith Dixon. In the blink of an eye, the Cougars went from in front by just a bucket to up by a dozen.
Credit this Caldwell team. They've come to play. Fearless is the adjective of choice when you describe this group, and I think you nailed it, Ben, at the top of the show. They've come out here. They've put their best foot forward. They're not afraid to go chin to chin. They're jumping the passing lanes. They're showing good anticipation. They're fearlessly going to the rim in transition. They're not turning the basketball over. And again, they've forced misses defensively and held the Hawks to under 20 so far with just 6 minutes to go until halftime. So check, 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 check. A number of things here for Coach Johnson and his staff. They're looking good, and they're looking as good as this score would indicate here, 31-19.
Well, the players on the floor may be young and new to this situation. Their head coach, Dean Johnson, is not. Over 30 years as an assistant under Mark Carino, who we saw earlier in the pregame with Chris Granozio. But in his first year as head coach, Dean Johnson has been dynamite for this program. Becker wanted the tip follow. He's going to get free throws out of it. Foul is going to be called on Heber. That is only his first. It is the fourth team foul on Caldwell.
And that's a feel-good story, in my opinion, right? A guy pays his dues for over 30 years, finally gets a shot, and succeeds right out of the gate. That's a feel-good story.
Well, not only has he been the assistant at Caldwell, but he is also the longtime softball coach for the school.
That's right.
He's actually been here to St. Anselm a few times over the last couple of years as a softball coach with the Cougars as part of an NCAA tournament, but also as a site rep for the NCAA tournament, where St. Anselm has been one of the best softball teams in the region recently. And he actually is still the softball coach. His team is down in Florida right now.
A man of many hats.
McGlashan on the offensive rebound, out to Tension for three. That's good. Miles Tension trying to settle his team down, knocks down a big triple there.
He's got Coach Johnson upset. Can't allow that. You get a couple of misses, but you don't secure the rebound, and Tension makes you pay on the second try.
Rancy hands it off to Darnell Evans. Wanted to get it inside, hands it off to Heber instead. Behind the screen, Heber with McGlashan, 8 to shoot. Crosses him up, kicks it out. Darnell Evans with a spin, the flip, shot is short. Relihan the rebound.
Good stop there by St. A's.
Oh, picked in the backcourt by Melvin Evans, and he'll lay it in.
So those quick hands we talked about with these guards, whether it's Evans, Darnell, Melvin Evans, Heber, Parsons, I mean, these guys are getting their hands on the basketball.
Relihan short on the three ball. Melvin Evans there for the rebound, and he brings a different dimension. He's a little bit bigger than both Darnell Evans and Heber and Parsons, so that length bothered Arbuckle coming up the floor. Rancy trying to muscle his way in on Becker, spins off him, missed the layup. Relihan is tied up, but they're going to get a foul called on Evans first. So that is the 15th foul, first on Melvin Evans.
Well, that's the move Rancy was hoping to pull off, that drop step. He just left the shot a little bit short. But that's a viable low post option for the Cougars. Wouldn't surprise me if they go right back to him, because he did have the advantage and he did get the shot up, just didn't knock it down.
Tension on the drive, all the way inside. Hierarchy, layup, count it, and the foul.
Well, there's an answer that the Hawks needed.
And
defender wants to shade one way. Okay, you give me the right hand, I'll take the left, etc. He's going to get what's available. He's going to take what's available. That time put his head down, went right to the rim, forget the contact. Big player for this team, really, since he arrived. Was a member of that Final Four team, as you highlight, Ben. back in 2019, the only holdover. And in a lot of ways, he is one of the, if not the leader, along with Arbuckle, first team selection. My point being, when the Hawks needed a bucket, Tension delivers.
12 first half points for Tension. By the way, that was also the second foul on Jarnell Rancy. So they pull Rancy out of the game. Shivers is back in. Big rejection. Jaden Archer in from behind on Darnell Evans.
Well, as we know, Coach Dixon plays with a short rotation. Never mind the postseason, the regular season. 7, maybe 8 guys will see the floor. Jaden Archer is one of them. And a big reason why, brings a lot of energy. He's one of their better athletes inch for inch, and you can see there, timed that shot block perfectly.
Darnell Evans shake and bake, lost it, Archer the steal. Got it back somehow, Archer the scoop. Taylor missed the layup. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. Shivers bothered that shot though. Evans fed underneath, missed layup again. Shivers with a cleanup, that won't go. Ball batted around and Arbuckle pulls it away.
Well, Caldwell starting to miss some bunnies, not just on that trip, but the last couple of minutes.
Oh, missed pass there between Tension and Arbuckle. Evans back the other way for 2.
Well, this kid's running wild. Melvin Evans, couple of steals the last couple of minutes. As you mentioned, Ben, he's got that length, but more importantly, he knows how to time the risks that he takes. He's gonna reach in at the right time to make contact with the ball, and then it's off to the races.
Taylor thought about the 3, stripped on the drive. It's gonna be a foul. It'll be the 7th team foul, so Taylor will be at the line for 1 and 1, and that's number 2 on Derek Bueno. So a little bit of foul trouble in the front court for the Cougars. They have a lead of 10 though, 35-25 as we keep it here in Manchester for the media timeout. Take a look at the resume for the top-seeded St. Anselm Hawks, 22-7 coming into the tournament. 15-5 in the Northeast 10 this year. They finished tied for second, went all the way in the postseason, capturing their 10th Northeast 10 tournament title, the most of any program in the league. And as a result of that tournament run, that sort of propelled them over the top of both Southern New Hampshire and Bentley to the top seed in the region and allowed them to get hosting duties for this weekend.
Yeah, second time since 2019, and well-deserved. And frankly, this team, in a lot of ways, exceeded even the expectations Coach Dixon had for this group. Coming in, they lost, of course, some key members from last year. They didn't bring in a whole lot of new bodies, but the guys that did come back got better and better and better as the year went on. They ended up winning the tournament, and rightfully so, deserve a chance to host the regional.
Well, last time they hosted in 2019, they captured just their second ever trip to the Elite Eight and went as far as they ever did in program history, all the way to the Final Four in Evansville in 2019. That was a senior-laden team with Tim Gears and Cody Ball leading the way.
Yep.
This time around, it is 50-year senior Miles Tension and another veteran in Owen McGlashan, who is in his now 3rd year with the program.
And of course, Arbuckle,
Yep.
who does have 1 year left.
1 year of eligibility left, and it is expected, I believe, to come back next season. So that'll certainly be a boost for the Hawks looking forward.
St. A's needs to get him going. Only 4 points so far.
Here's a sophomore transfer in Zach Taylor, a JUCO from Garden City Community College in the Midwest. Taylor hits both ends of the 1 and 1, gets the Hawks back within single digits. Hawks fans urging for defense. Bueno inside, muscles off Arbuckle and hits off the glass.
Pulling a
so
China shop
polished.
down there, Ben. He's just doing what he wants, throwing that weight around, dipping that shoulder, and the Hawks don't have an answer physically for him on the low block.
Taylor for 3, short, tried to chase down his own rebound, but Evans got to it first. Here's Darnell Evans. Back to Melvin, lobbed inside. Bueno, handoff. Melvin Evans blocked at the rim by Tension. Dean Johnson wanted a foul, didn't get it. In the corner, Archer looks to attack, spins away from Bueno, slips it inside, missed layup by Taylor, rebound out of bounds, off of Taylor, back over to Caldwell. It's a couple of good looks for Taylor around the basket that he's not been able to finish.
Well, teams both ways. left it a little bit short. A pretty good give and go there. Better block at the rim on one end, and then Taylor just left it short on the other for St. A's.
Here's Heber, who's been the man in the first half, gives to Shivers, now to Darnell Evans. Hawks have done a good job limiting him.
Nice
Lob
pass
for Shivers, layup is good.
That's a pretty pass. That's a pretty pass. Over the top of two guys, tough angle. And go ahead and let the 6'9" freshman catch it up in the air. That's exactly what he did. Leads to an easy two. Good play.
Archer sprints out, back to Tension. Give and go with Taylor. Tension's really been the one consistent offensive threat in the first half. Archer's three way off the mark. Out of bounds. Off of Caldwell. Parsons is going to come back in here. Caldwell starting to heat up offensively. They started 7 of 19. They've hit 9 of their last 15.
Getting good looks, too.
A lot of close to the rim opportunities.
Right. I thought the first few minutes they settled. The last few minutes they've looked to attack.
McGlashan off the mark from deep. Jones, quick push. Parsons finds the trailer. Evans, little shake and bake, goes into Arbuckle, throws it up and it goes in. Everything falling for the Cougars in the first half, and they have a game-high 14-point lead.
Well, when it rains, it pours. That one kind of a blind shot. Not sure how he got that one up over two guys, but he did.
Taylor looking to get it inside. Taylor tied up. Archer, Arbuckle. Hands off to McGlashan, got it back. Arbuckle fakes, drives, fouled on his way, so he'll go to the line for 1 and 1. Fouls on Melvin Evans. That's number 2 on him. So he becomes the third Caldwell player with 2 fouls. That's really the only thing you would think would give the Cougars any concern in this first half.
Yeah, 8 now. I think if you're Coach Johnson, you just want to get through the next minute without putting the Hawks back on the line. If you're Caldwell, you'd like to go up double digits at halftime here, close out strong. If you're the Hawks, obviously, you want to get this thing under 10.
Arbuckle too strong on the front end. Hawks have had a tough time shooting free throws this year, and they're only 4 for 8 today. 4 for 9 now.
And you knew that was going to catch up with them at some point.
Far from the overriding factor in this tough start. Tension knocks it loose. Taylor comes up with a steal. Tension looking to push. Finds Taylor down the middle. Back outside. McGlashan stripped out of bounds. Caldwell ball.
Another great play by Darnell Evans. Stays home on the pass as if to not give up the 3. Then he goes in and gets a piece of the basketball, which ultimately ends up being ruled off of McGlashan. Boy, I'm trying to remember the last time I've seen a group of 2 or 3 guards with this kind of hand speed defensively. The 2 Evans and Heber particularly have been menaces defensively in this first half.
They have caused problems for opponents all year, and they're doing the same again in the NCAA tournament. 6 to shoot. Heber rocking the baby to sleep. Looking for an opening into the contact. Hit the rim. Heber blocked on the follow-up, and the three-pointer at the buzzer will not count, as it was late off the hands of Daniel Boateng. But hard to imagine you could draw up a better start for the 8 seed. Not only do they hang in through the first few minutes of the first half, but they eventually build themselves a 14-point lead going into halftime.
Playing fearless basketball with house money. This is a young team, only 1 senior on the roster. They're loaded with freshmen and sophomores, playing their best basketball of the season. They win the conference tournament. They come in here, and they're bringing it right to the top seed in the region, St. A's. They're doing it on defense. They're getting buckets in transition off the steals. They're getting low post buckets in the half-court set. They're forcing a ton of misses. I mean, they're doing a lot of things right. They're competing on the glass despite giving up size. They're doing a lot of things right. And right now, the Hawks are in some real trouble down 14.
Well, the Cougars players working hard. Their coach might be working even harder. Dean Johnson with our Chris Granozio.
Dean Johnson, first-year head coach, first NCAA tournament game. First 20 minutes, what has your team done so well?
Well, I think we made a commitment to play defense tonight on probably their 2 best offensive players on statistics with Arbuckle and Tension. So we're doing a little bit different thing on them. They're trying to not get them getting as many looks, and when they do get looks, we're really making them try to take tough shots. I'd like us to rebound a little bit better, because a good team like St. A's, you can't give second shots to. Chris, you just can't, because he could hurt us a couple times. They got an offensive rebound and knock down a three. But we're going to, continue to work. We'll see what the next 20 minutes looks like.
Mark Haber, a revelation in the first half, already surpassed the seasonal scoring average. Was he that little jolt you needed to begin?
Yeah, I think we're a much better team when my three guards are on a roll, and that includes Kurt and Mr. Evans. Melvin gave us a great boost off the bench, but when Mark can knock down threes, they're probably going to face guard him in the second half, and the other two kids will step up like they've been doing all year.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
We're going to need it. Thanks.
Back to you guys.
Dean Johnson knows that 20 minutes does not a college basketball game finish. 20 more minutes to go in this one. Going to be interesting as Caldwell looking to play spoiler here on the road in Manchester. It's the Cougars in front of St. Anselm, 41-27. We'll step aside for the halftime break. Coverage of the East Regional. Well, the St. Anselm crowd silenced throughout that first half here in Manchester as the top-seeded Hawks came out sluggish. Caldwell clamped down on the defensive end, and the Cougars got hot late and riding a 14-point lead into the second half here in Manchester. Welcome back to coverage of the Division II Men's East Regional here from St. Anselm College. Alongside Nick Anastos, I'm Ben Alcher. Chris Granozio standing by, waiting to check in with St. Anselm head coach Keith Dixon. But while we await the return of the Hawks head coach Nick, a dynamite first half for Caldwell as they look to play spoiler here in the tournament.
Well, they did a number of things right. Defensively, their backcourt was very good, and we'll get to the rest here in a moment.
All right, Chris is standing by with St. Anselm head coach Keith Dixon. Chris?
Coach, you got burned on a few turnovers in that first half. Other than taking better care of the basketball, what adjustments do you need to make in the second half?
Well, I mean, that's about as bad as we can play, so anything will be an improvement on that. I mean, we've got to handle the basketball better. We just gave them too many points off of our turnovers. And I think we've got to get more stuff that's going at the rim. We're just settling for threes, and we're really not making them. So, hopefully we can make a little bit of run here and tighten this up.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Chris. Keith Dixon sort of cutting right to the chase there. Yeah. Knows that his team had a tough shooting first half. They see just 3 of 16 from behind the arc. Very atypical when you talk about this St. Anselm team.
Caldwell's getting advantages in other areas, including points off turnovers. How about 14-1 favoring the Cougars? How about fast break points of 13-0 favoring Caldwell? And how about the bench outscoring the Hawk bench 14-0? So advantages pretty much everywhere on both ends of the floor. Darnell Evans played every minute, and he's working on a quadruple double right now, Ben. 4 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. That's not a bad 20 minutes of work for that man right there, Coach Johnson.
Not at all. Certainly a good reason why Darnell Evans was not only the CACC Rookie of the Year, but why he was part of the All-Region first team as well. One of the best players in the region among the 3 East Regional conferences. So the question is, will St. Anselm be able to find a way back in this ball game? We saw in the first game of the day, Southern New Hampshire had a lot of trouble against the pressure from St. Thomas Aquinas, did a better job taking care of the ball in the second half and utilized it to great effectiveness with a big run in the second half. Almost seems like St. Anselm needs to do the same here to get back in the ball game.
Yeah, they need to start turning over Caldwell a little bit too. They got to up that defensive pressure in the man-to-man set. Only 4 giveaways for Caldwell compared to 9 turnovers for St. A's in that first half. And then the ultimate X factor is Tyler Arbuckle. Tournament MVP, played 20 minutes, only took 5 shots, ends up with 4 points at the end of the first half. He needs to be more aggressive. He needs to touch the ball every time down, get his way into the lane, get his way to the line, and get his offensive game back on track.
Hawks will have the ball here to open up the second half. It'll be back to the starting 5 for Keith Dixon, Arbuckle, Tension, Becker, McGlashan, and Taylor. Caldwell will come out with their starting 5 as well. Darnell Evans, Mark Heber, who has a game-high 14 points, Kirk Parsons, Jarnell Rancy, and Landon Shivers. Now here we go. See if the Hawks can apply a little bit of pressure to this young Caldwell team. So far, they have yet to crack at any point this season. Zach Taylor finds McGlashan, gets it away to Tension, who's the only consistent threat in the first half. McGlashan extra dribble and then lays it in.
Well, they keep the floor spaced on the first possession, and they get the dive cut that they were looking for. Good pass, and then McGlashan able to gather himself on the catch, didn't rush the shot, ends up making sure that he put that one in the hole.
Heber, three behind the screen, in and out. Rebound pulled in by Taylor. Caldwell started the game a little bit cold offensively, but then Heber got him going, and the rest of the group came in. All but one player who played in the first half for Caldwell scored. Tension, thought about the three, pulls it out, gives to Arbuckle. Matched up with Rancy, leading shot blocker in the nation. McGlashan wants it inside. Arbuckle tried to cross him up. Rancy poked it loose, but then a reach-in foul called. It's going to be on Rancy, and that's an early third foul on one of Caldwell's top defenders.
Not a great decision there. You got away with the first reach, and then you go ahead and commit another reach right in front of the official, 40-something feet from the basket. Not a great foul to give, especially for a big man.
Arbuckle drives, baseline, fakes, kicks. Taylor off the wing, back out to Tension. He drives at Heber into the corner. McGlashan tries a three, it's short, and the rebound into the hands of Rancy. Hawks again, still not able to find the mark from the outside. Here's Parsons. Quick pull-up inside the arc. That won't go. Becker there for the rebound.
Too early in the shot clock there for Coach Johnson's liking.
Tension pushes it up the floor. Taylor turns the corner, drives, spins, missed the shot. Taylor on the deck, numbers the other way for Caldwell. Heber into the lane, fouled. Shot won't go, blocked by McGlashan. Foul's going to be on McGlashan, though. That is his second. First of the half.
Heber just so quick, especially in the open floor. McGlashan gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar, so to speak, for his second.
Heber, one of those players who continued to get better as the year went along. 7 times on the All-Conference honor roll this year. He finished All-Conference third team in the CACC, but he has had a massive impact on this game. Rancy fakes the handoff. Arbuckle going to be called for the grab. That's number 2 on him. Forces Caldwell to reset here. Parsons gets it into Rancy. Return to Parsons. Into the hands of Heber again. Looking to attack. Has McGlashan in front of him. Pull up deep. 2 is good. Boy, Heber is locked in.
He was the catalyst offensively. 5 of 10 in that first half, a game-high 14 points, and a lot of it came from that mid-range pull-up, like we saw there.
Tension out of the corner on the big man Rancy. Lures him out of the paint, gives to Taylor. Around for Becker. Trying to find a way to get it inside. Here's Arbuckle spinning, handy.
Nice.
Becker missed the reverse. They're going to say goaltending. So count the basket. As Rancy was fading away, he grabbed the net. So there you see on the replay, Rancy grabbed the net as Becker went to lay it up. So that's defensive interference.
It's a rare call, but the right call. As you can see, he got a piece of the net and actually tugged the rim down an inch or 2. Hawks probably caught a break there, Ben, because if that doesn't get called, Becker misses that layup.
Tough start for Becker as part of the NE10 all-tourney team. He's only taken 2 shots. He's been instrumental in the rebounding side of things. He's also missed a few early free throws. Crowd trying to get the defense into it here. Rancy up top, over to Heber. Rancy setting the screen for him. Parsons looks to attack. Drives, floats over Arbuckle. Shot is short. Arbuckle the rebound. Tries to push it up ahead. Arbuckle the crossover, the drive, gets inside. Shot is short, but a foul, and he'll go to the line.
Well, there's the Tyler Arbuckle we're accustomed to seeing. putting his head down, getting in the lane, and getting down to work here. He's got that crossover that's so effective. He likes the contact. You see there he's knocked down by the help side defender. And this is where he can start to help dig his team out of this hole, is at the free throw line.
Arbuckle makes the front end. The Hawks just 4 for 9 from the line in the first half. 67% as a team shooting the free throw this year. 12th out of 13 teams in the Northeast 10. Arbuckle hits them both. His first points of the half. Back to a 10-point ball game, 3 minutes in. And here comes the crowd in Manchester.
Miles Tension calling for his fellow students to get on their feet here and help their team out.
It's going to be the loudest it's been since tip-off. Heber drives, spins it up, no, but a foul. That's on McGlashan, that's his third, so a little bit of foul trouble now for the Hawks, and maybe a decision here for Keith Dixon. Does he keep McGlashan in the game?
I'm not sure if there's any defender with the foot speed to keep up with him, Ben. He's that quick. He really is. And he's good at also drawing the contact. You see there on the dribble with the left hand, leaning into McGlashan with the right side of his body and almost forcing the officials to blow the whistle.
And he's automatic at the free throw line as well. 92% on the year, second best in the CACC. So Keith Dixon is going to make a change. It's going to be the freshman Elias Rodel from Berlin, Germany, replacing McGlashan. Rodel has not played since the Northeast 10 quarterfinal round against Pace.
And we'll see if he's given the assignment of Heber as well, or who's going to match up with him now that McGlashan's out of the game.
12-point lead for Caldwell here. They have maintained the double-digit edge early in the second half. Becker thought about the three, drives instead. Tipped up and off by Taylor. Rancy really altered the shot again, and Taylor couldn't follow it with a tip. Evans on the drive, gets all the way in. Shot off, but a foul again. And it's on Arbuckle, so that's his third. So now two of the Hawks starters, each with 3 fouls. McGlashan on the bench with 3. Arbuckle, as you see, got Evans on the head there. That's his third. He gives a thumbs up to the bench. Feels like you'd almost have to drag him out of this ball game right now.
Got hit pretty hard, no question. They're gonna wipe up that wet spot. But a fearless take. I know that's been the adjective of the day, fearless, when describing this Caldwell team, but it's so appropriate with plays like that.
First free throws of the day for Darnell Evans. It's the roll on the first. Again, has been a game changer, really a program changer in a lot of senses for this Caldwell team. Again, just a freshman. He's averaged 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists per game. He's also one of the leading stealers in the CACC. Second free throw off. Arbuckle has the miss. Lead was 14 at the half. It's 13 now. Tension wants it. Backs down Heber. Kicks it out Taylor. Swing over to Rodel. Thought about the 3. To the baseline, Becker. Becker drives at Evans. Lost the handle, out of bounds. That'll get us to a timeout. 15:59 to go here in the second half. It is the Cougars looking to play spoiler in Manchester. Caldwell in front by 13.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted. We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Welcome back to Manchester. 46-33, the Caldwell lead over number 1 seed St. Anselm. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Chris Granozio.
St. Anselm, uncharacteristically, still being plagued by turnovers, many of the unforced variety. The 14-point deficit they faced at halftime was their biggest deficit in a home game this season. They were down 12 against Pace in an eventual loss. They're hoping they can come back in this one, but so far only chipped 1 point off between halftime and the first media timeout. We'll see what the last 16 minutes or so hold down the stretch for the host seed and the number 1 seed.
Thank you very much, Chris. It'll be very interesting because we remember that Pace game back in the regular season, Nick, and instead of getting back in the ball game in the second half, it went the other way for the Hawks, and they suffered one of their worst losses of the regular season, getting blown out by the Setters in that game.
And of course, Pace took 2 from St. A's during the regular season before the Hawks got their payback in the quarterfinal round. But to your point, to Chris's point, this is unfamiliar territory for this group by and large. They're used to playing, especially in this building, out in front and not having to come from behind and erase double-digit deficits. So this is a new challenge for this group here in a do-or-die spot.
Well, the NCAA always brings out different heroes. A throwdown by Shivers. There was a collision in mid-court and right around the free throw line that sort of cleared a path, and Shivers took it all the way.
6'9" freshman, his second field goal.
Taylor drive, almost walked with it. Arbuckle can't turn the corner, but a grab going to be called against Parsons. That's his second, third team foul. Here you see a couple bodies hit the floor, and in flies Shivers for the jam.
A bit of a pig pile there at the free throw line, cleared the way. But nonetheless, no hesitation from the youngster.
Three-pointer Rodel is good.
Speaking of no hesitation, able to catch. He's already square in the corner. He's where he should be. Even though the pass is a little low, he's still able to observe it, put it up and in for 3.
Crowd trying to spur the defense on to get some stops here. Parsons goes at Becker, into the corner for Rancy. They dare him to shoot. Evans to reset, 7 to go. Evans in 5th gear, shake and bake, rises and scores.
Wow.
Did it on Miles Tension, one of the best guard defenders in the NE10, and Evans shook him to sleep.
That's about as good a defense you're going to get.
Arbuckle kicks. Rodel again for 3. Got another.
He's got a pretty shot, doesn't he? Able to get square, get off the floor, get that thing in the air. Good arc. Bang, bang, 2 in a row from deep.
11-point ball game. Elias Rodel giving the Hawks a lift off the bench. Heber had. Oh, that was halfway down. Couldn't come up with the answer. See if the Hawks can get it to single digits here. Tension, turns, kicks. Becker for 3. Short, tipped in. Zach Taylor crashing the glass. Timeout, Dean Johnson. And just like that, an 8-0 run. 8-2 run, pardon me, with 2 massive threes from Elias Rodel.
And that last tip in, Caldwell got caught ball watching when that shot went up. Nobody gets a body on the 6'9" Taylor. And he gets the easy putback over the rim to cut this thing back to 9, the closest the Hawks have been since about midway through the first half. A good run. You can feel the crowd, Ben, starting to get into it a little bit more over the last couple of minutes. That's helped the home team as well.
Just after Caldwell had expanded it to a game-high 15-point lead, all of a sudden it's back down to 9. But again, this goes back to what I talked about with Dean Johnson yesterday. In these moments, this young team, when everyone in the world would expect a young group to maybe wilt, to maybe fold under the pressure, they have not given an inch, and every time they've had a response.
There's no pressure with this group. I mean, there really isn't. There's only one senior who hasn't seen the floor today, by the way. It's been primarily underclassmen, freshmen, and sophomores. And, you know, the old saying is there's no such thing as a freshman at the end of the season, and that may be true here. But either way, they're up for the challenge. Nobody really expected them to be here, so why not go out, play carefree, and give it your best shot? That's been the mentality, that's been the approach, and so far it's worked for Caldwell here on the road.
Well, they won the auto bid, winning the CACC tournament. The at-large resume, had they not won the tournament, would not have been enough to get them into the field. It's only their 3rd ever NCAA trip, and they have never won a game. Lob caught, but a foul first before the shot.
Well, here comes Derek Bueno, who played excellent off the bench in that first half for Caldwell. And they waste little time getting him the basketball deep in the low post. He's got 8 points. He went 3 for 5 from the floor in that first half. Hit both his free throws. He's an impact player. And he's looking to give Caldwell another boost here over the next few minutes.
Evans has Taylor in the switch. Up top, Rancy trying to get it inside. Now they find Bueno. Turns, floats it up. It bounces out. Rebound batted around, and Rodel comes up with it.
Admirable job there by Rodel, trying to deny the position, push him off the block, ultimately forces the miss.
Tension, floats, Rodel catches, drives, step back over, Bueno bounces out. A little bit of a heat check maybe that time for the freshman.
Gets caught up in the competitive motion of the game.
Heber, shake and bake on Taylor. He's cooking now.
Yeah. He must have had a basketball in the crib. He's got that kind of handle.
That pass too tall, intended for Bueno. He thought he was grabbed. That's just the 5th turnover by Caldwell today.
About to say, rare giveaway by this young team in red. Right idea, but that one just sailed on him. Tough angle, too, from straight away.
A little bit of pressure up the floor from Heber. Rancy comes out to meet Rodel. Give it back to Tension. Now to Becker.
Door is still open here, Ben. It's still a 9-point game.
Taylor wants 3, won't get it, and Rancy goes crashing into Rodel, and the foul will be on Rodel. He was the second man there, so the foul is his. Number 2 on the German native. 6th team foul already on the Hawks, so next one puts Caldwell in the bonus. Cougars, pretty good free throw shooting team.
Yeah, pretty early as well, a lot earlier than Coach Dixon would have hoped that his team hits the 6-team foul mark. Meanwhile, Rodel, good effort and good sportsmanship too. Those two hit the ground pretty hard there. Rough collision, rough mid-air collision. Sometimes there can be some hard feelings left over, but those two congratulate each other and help each other back to their feet.
Bueno backing in, foul called. He'll go to the line. It's Rodel again, and he's got 3 in quick succession.
Crowd upset. Didn't look like a whole lot. Rodel did leave his feet.
Yeah, that's usually a telltale sign for the official.
And credit Bueno for, again, leaning in just enough to create a little bit of contact.
Bueno off the mark, normally a very good free throw shooter, 81% on the year. What do you think of the adjustment out of the timeout? You get Bueno into the game, and they have consistently looked his way since the break.
I like it. He's fresh, hadn't played in the half until he checked in, so he should be ready to go. And why not maximize that size? He's got a reserve on him in Rodel, a young reserve. He played very well in that first half, so it's very understandable why Coach Johnson would want to immediately get him the basketball.
Brings a little bit of a change of pace as well.
Yeah.
Lead back up to 10 off the free throw make, 51-41. Arbuckle spinning into the lane, hangs, can't hit, but he'll go to the line. See who this call goes against. It's going to be on Heber, just his second.
Not sure if that was a design play or not, but it looked like as soon as Arbuckle caught it, all of a sudden he had plenty of room to work, plenty of room to go one-on-one. Almost like in isolation, not sure if it was or not, but again, he's so tough to guard one-on-one. He's so strong, so good with that crossover, so good with both hands. Gets to the lane, makes the official blow the whistle, and now cashing in at the stripe. He's approaching double figures.
Quiet day for Arbuckle, just 2 for 5 from the floor. Goes 1 of 2 at the line there. So back to a 9-point game. Still 12:20 left to go in this one. Lots of time for Caldwell to either try to pull away or for the Hawks to pull a little closer. Again, they look Bueno's way. Parsons can't get it into him. Rancy back up to Darnell Evans, down to 10 on the shot clock. Evans uses the Rancy screen. He wants Taylor. Rancy, again, the crossover, the step back, well off the mark on the 3. Fight for the rebound. Heber, did he get it away in time? No, he didn't. It's going to be a shot clock violation. The first try from Evans didn't catch any iron, and that'll get us to immediate timeout. 11:55 to go. We'll keep it here in Manchester. Caldwell has led just about the entire way. The largest lead was 15 about 4 minutes ago. But the Hawks, thanks to a little bit of a run, have started to whittle away at it.
Their defenses look better over the last few minutes. Starting to challenge a lot of these shots. Getting hands up. Contesting. They did that to a degree in the first half, but it's been more consistent over the last few minutes, and as a result, Caldwell's been kind of stuck in the mud on the offensive end over the last 5 or 6 trips down the floor. Meanwhile, with the Hawks, you know, they got the crowd back into it there. For a moment, it looked like they were rolling on an 8-2 run, but now they've gone quiet again on the offensive end. So whoever makes a play over the next couple of minutes to jumpstart this thing again is going to tell us which direction this is going.
Yeah, both teams have gone a little bit cold, one for their last 4 each way. We've also started to see a few more whistles creep in as well. On the St. Anselm side, 3 players each with 3 fouls: Arbuckle, Rodel, and McGlashan. And then on the Caldwell side, you've got Rancy playing with 3, and then a couple other guys each with 2.
Well, at some point, it's going to be all hands on deck here. The foul issues are going to go out the window once you, I think, enter probably 8 or 9 minutes to go. So if you can get yourself to that point, still with 3, you're in good shape, I think.
Caldwell trying to spoil the party here in Manchester and avoid an all-NE10 Final Four on Sunday. Parsons going to be called for a bump on Arbuckle there. That's his 3rd. And the 15th foul on the Cougars.
It's got Coach Johnson upset, and I don't blame him. Not a whole lot on that one, especially given that we've seen a lot of no calls on similar plays.
Does get Melvin Evans back into the game. He was a factor in the first half.
Big factor. Only played 5 minutes, but scored in bunches.
Created a couple turnovers as well.
Yeah. Went 3 for 5 from the floor in 5 minutes.
Rodel floats it. Becker with a catch. Becker the drive. Lost it. Stripped by Bueno. Just the 2nd turnover of the half of the Hawks. Evans on the go. Floats it in.
This kid is unbelievable. He really is. He's playing with a smile on his face, too. He's having fun out there. Why not?
And he's had a tough shooting day. Just 3 of 11. 0 for 4 from deep.
Man, I mean, he's just at full speed all the time.
Taylor on the wing. Back up top, Rodel. Becker. Tension wants it. Becker behind the back dribble. Slips it. Tension on the drive. Fouled on his way up. And he'll go to the line for 2. That's going to be Rancy coming in with his 4th. Tension saw the shot blocker coming. Dipped around him and drew the contact.
Fearless take. And a good cut on the baseline as well by Tension. Veteran cut. And you could tell grimacing a little bit after landing hard there.
Tension, the best free throw shooter on the Hawks this year. That's just his first point of the half, though. 82% from the line. Caldwell's done a good job slowing him down. Daniel Boateng comes back in, replacing Rancy. There's going to be some big minutes for Boateng here. Tension missed the 2nd, popped out on him. Free throw troubles continue to impair the Hawks here.
The story all season.
It certainly doesn't help when you're chasing the game.
Right.
Boateng moves it over to Evans behind the screen. Melvin Evans drives at Arbuckle, floats it up, doesn't get the bounce. Becker there for the rebound. Pressure in the backcourt. They wanted to push off on Becker.
Yeah, got away with one at midcourt, but another contested shot by the Hawks, doing a better job defensively.
Tension driving kick. Heber gets a hand on that one and knocks it out of bounds.
That's the right call there, as we see. The defender was clearly the last to touch it.
Inbound to Arbuckle. Evans right on his hip. Arbuckle goes at him, draws a whistle. That's number 3 on Evans.
That's team foul number 7.
And that will put the Hawks in the bonus, so this one may end up turning into a bit of a free throw contest here over the final 10 minutes, but again, we've talked about the Hawks' free throw issues. We would still give that edge to Caldwell. Arbuckle hits the front end.
Coach Johnson still pretty upset over the last couple of whistles. And the last couple of non-whistles as well.
Arbuckle makes them both. He's up to 9 on the night. Coming up at 7:30, our final game of the day. 4-seed New Haven, 5-seed Payson, all NE10 affair in the nightcap. Winner of that one gets the winner of this one. Bueno muscles in on Rodel and scores.
That's what he's been doing. Been owning that low block, no matter who's guarded him.
Just too big for the freshman Rodel to deal with there. Becker tries to turn the corner. Bueno knocks it out of bounds, unable to save it before it caught the sideline. Nice effort by Dean Johnson going to track that ball down before it gets to the table.
I thought he was going to try and jump over the table like his player did in the first half. But not necessary.
That would be a surprise.
Still showed some pretty good hustle.
Inbound Arbuckle right into the shot. That won't go. Becker tries to tip it in. That won't go either. Right into the hands of Bueno.
Becker may have been better served to pull that down.
Evans, floater won't go. Fight for the rebound. Arbuckle finds Rodel. Hawks have started to get some stops, but they're not getting scores on the other end to nip into this 10-point game either.
Exactly.
Arbuckle all the way to the cup. Count it! And the foul! Right on cue, Tyler Arbuckle says, this is my time.
Took it right at the help defender. First of all, he blows by his man and then able to weave around Boateng in the lane. Arbuckle starting to turn it on now, Ben. 13 points, tied with tension for the team high. Chance to get his team back within 7 here.
Foul was on Boateng, just his first, the 8th team foul. Arbuckle converts the and one. He's up to 12. And Caldwell's going to play a little bit small here. They bring in Parsons in place of Boateng. So they go 4 guards with Bueno in the middle.
Here comes this crowd.
Hawks again as close as they've been since the first half, down 7. Heber has been the answer, dribbled it off his foot into the backcourt. Arbuckle comes crashing in. Did he get the timeout or was he tied up? Officials stop it. They're going to wait for a decision here. It is a jump ball. Possession arrow will keep it with Caldwell.
You want to talk about max effort. Look no further than this replay here. Tyler Arbuckle sacrificing the body, diving between 2 opposing players, landing on top of the basketball, and then hanging on for dear life while calling for time. Good hustle. Great hustle.
So they're going to reset the shot clock to 30. It was down to 9, even though there was no change of possession because Arbuckle deflected it in the backcourt. It's a fresh 30 for the Cougars.
Disagree with that call.
Heber working on Becker. Fade away in the lane. Short. Bueno kept it alive. Bueno sandwiched inside. Scoring and the foul. Derek Bueno.
Too big, too strong. It's that simple. He's triple teamed down there. Good job reaching over, keeping it alive, then securing it, establishing his positioning, and then going up strong. He's having a heck of a game off the bench.
13 points, chance to add another at the line. He's also got 4 rebounds off the back iron. Becker pulls it in. So it stays a single-digit game, 57-48, 8.5 to go. Becker hands to Taylor. Rodel. It's been a spark plug off the bench in this one. Arbuckle coming on strong. And a hand check foul against Darnell Evans. That is only the first on Evans. Caldwell screaming that it's a push-off on Arbuckle. That's tough. I mean, you could probably go either way on that.
There's a lot of hand-to-hand combat. No question.
Welcome to the NCAA tournament, right?
Exactly.
Well, Arbuckle starting to make a living at the line. He's 6 of 8 on the day.
But to your point, Coach Johnson and his staff, they have tried to lobby for that hook against Arbuckle, that push off, that forearm, whatever you want to call it.
Arbuckle 66% from the line on the season, although that number has steadily ticked up over the back half of the regular season. And it looks like he's got a scratch here, so we send him over to the St. Anselm athletic trainer. Take a quick look at the foul situation for Caldwell. Rancy right now on the bench with 4. Parsons has 3. Melvin Evans has 3. Nobody else with more than 2.
It's enough, though, to give some worries for Coach Johnson.
For St. Anselm, Arbuckle, McGlashan, and Rodel all have 3. McGlashan right now on the bench, Arbuckle and Rodel both on the floor.
So a little more flexibility for Coach Dixon, but those are some key names you just named there, Ben. And the way this game has gone, particularly in the second half with the amount of whistles, those guys are going to have to toe the line over the final 8.5.
Second one good. Arbuckle starting to get in the rhythm at the line. He's already scored more in the second half than he did the entire first half.
And here they come, within 7 for the first time in a long time.
Again, this is the close the Hawks have been since the first half. McGlashan back out on the floor now in place of Taylor. Here comes Heber to the baseline. Becker shuts him off. Back out to Melvin Evans. Darnell Evans tipped and stolen by Tension. Looking to get it going the other way. Tension to Arbuckle. He's the hot hand. Becker swings to McGlashan. Bueno dares him to shoot. McGlashan fires in. Arbuckle catches, spins it up and in with the left hand. It's a 2-possession game.
The Hawks have had some success with that 2-man game. They're getting the spacing. They're getting the roll. The pass has been on the money. And it worked out on that possession to make this a 5-point game again.
Students on their feet everywhere around the building. Heber can't squeeze it in. It's a tie-up for the rebound, and the arrow favors the Hawks. And here we are at the media timeout. 7 long, agonizing minutes and 26 seconds still to come. Can Caldwell do it? Can they survive the whiteout here in Manchester? It's the Cougars 57, the Hawks 52. Coverage continues. Welcome back here to Manchester. 57-52, 8th seeded Caldwell in front of top seeded St. Anselm, 57-52. The Hawks, though, trail by as many as 15 earlier in this half. And this is as close as they've been since early in the game. Along with Nick Anastos, our sideline reporter Chris Granozio, I'm Ben Alcher. This has been our tightest game of the day at this stage of the ball game, Nick, and we're in line for a great finish.
We are. 2 double-digit differences in the victories for Southern New Hampshire and Bentley earlier today. We've been due for some drama, and it looks like we're going to get it here in 7 minutes, 26 seconds to go. 5-point game. Hawks have ticked things up defensively. They forced some misses, forced some giveaways, and that's opened the door for this comeback over the last few minutes.
Tyler Arbuckle has led the way over the most recent stretch for the Hawks. He's hit 3 of his last 4 shots. He's gotten it going at the line. Trying to make it a 1-possession game here. Arbuckle to the hoop. No contest.
Well, again, that's just keeping the floor spread and allowing Tyler Arbuckle enough room to do his thing off the dribble one-on-one. Nobody home on the weak side help, to your point.
3-point ball game. Heber off the screen. Inside Bueno on McGlashan. Bueno has to kick it out. 3-pointer contested. Won't go for Parsons. Rebound tipped around. Tension's got it. Jarnell Rancy waiting to come back in for Caldwell. He's got 4 fouls. Tension fouled. Too aggressive. Melvin Evans from behind. It's number 4 on him. It's the 10th team foul, and Tension will go to the line for 2.
Ben, how many reach-ins have we seen outside the 3-point line here in the second half? Way too many for Coach Johnson to feel comfortable here on the Caldwell sidelines. Just an unnecessary gamble. And yes, some of that stuff worked in the first half, but the officials have blown the whistles more frequently here in the second half, and you gotta be careful. You gotta pick your poison, so to speak. And if you're gonna roll the dice, you gotta do it a little more selectively. Especially now with it's double bonus time. You can't afford to reach in 40-some feet away from the basket.
So Evans out with 4 fouls. Rancy back in with 4 fouls. Tension rattles it in. He makes both. Hawks, by the way, have only missed 2 free throws in the second half after going 4 of 9 in the first half. So really, the free throw shooting has gotten them back in this game. Darnell Evans on the drive, spun it in. Looked like Rodel might have even gotten a piece of it, but Darnell Evans didn't care.
That's exactly what I thought. I thought it was going to be a blocked shot. Instead, it went in.
McGlashan gives it back to Tension. Up top, Becker. McGlashan on the wing for 3 and the tie. Back iron. And the rebound into the hands of Parsons. 3-pointers have not been falling today for the Hawks. One of the best 3-point teams in the nation. Lob, Bueno the catch, tied up, lays it in anyway. Here's the answer from Caldwell.
Yep. Big man doing his thing down low. Soft hands on the lob pass, able to wrestle it away from McGlashan for 2.
Mini 4-0 run extends the lead back up to 5. Arbuckle, offensive foul, moving screen. Called on Tension. That's only his first, but it is the 19th foul. No free throws because it's an offensive foul.
Stuck that right leg out a little bit at the tail end of the screen.
Now how big would this be if the Cougars get a bucket here?
Well, it goes from a 2-possession difference to 3.
Heber
so
tied up,
big.
Lost it on the ground. It's going to be a jump ball. It'll stay with Caldwell, though. 14 to shoot for the Cougars.
Well, that's the scrappy nature of this Hawk defense, especially in this second half. They played with more intensity and more energy in this half-court man-to-man set. How many times now have we seen bodies on the floor for both teams as well? Obviously, max effort being given here in this NCAA tournament game, but the Hawks need to make a few more of those type of plays defensively over the final 5:19.
Caldwell trying to make a little history, looking for their first ever NCAA win in just their 3rd ever trip. And one of those was the truncated regional. Contested 3, it was blocked. Bueno got to it, and he stepped out of bounds. Would have had an open layup, but as he corralled that loose ball, his foot was on the end line. I was going to say, one of those was the truncated regional in 2021, in which not every team played a season due to the pandemic.
Including St. Anselm.
That's right. Cougars, though, led by as many as 15 in the second half. Hawks got it down to 1. Cougars put it back up to 5. Rodel finds Arbuckle, tied up inside in the corner. McGlashan for 3, short, and the rebound pulled in by Heber. Evans off to the races, goes into tension, foul called, and he'll go to the line. Darnell Evans sees that open floor in front of him, and he's off to the races.
Just so fast. So fast. I mean, what do you do there if you're Tension? He tried to make kind of a blind swipe with the left hand at the ball at the last moment, but I guess the priority is prevent the layup, but you almost have to give a foul there in that spot. And now we got double bonus both ways.
Evans 72% from the line on the year. First one pops out.
He's leaning forward on that one. If he stays straight up, that's in the hole.
Meanwhile, remember what Keith Dixon said coming out of halftime. He wanted his team to attack the rim more. 3-point attempts the last couple times down, and the Hawks are just 5 for 23 from distance.
Defensive rotations have been good for Caldwell. That's part of it. Another part is, again, a week off doesn't quite help sometimes either.
Evans makes 1 of 2. Bueno's getting a breather here, so again, Caldwell goes small with Evans on the floor. Melvin Evans, I should say. Arbuckle behind the back dribble, lost it for a moment, got it back, looking for help, now has to call a timeout. Not happy with his team's off the ball movement. The Hawks have a couple timeouts to burn, so they'll take one here. It'll just be a 30-second timeout, 4:32 to go, so not a media timeout as of yet. You see the frustration from Arbuckle, who has willed the Hawks back into this ball game after they trailed by as many as 15.
Yeah, he was kind of quiet, a little passive by his standards in the first half. 20 minutes played, only 5 shot attempts, 2 for 5 at the midway point. Been more aggressive, gotten to the free throw line. Has looked to penetrate and kick to get other guys shots. So he's kind of been back to normal, so to speak, in this second half, and he's led the way now as the game's high scorer with 20 points. But they need that almost every time down the floor over the final 4.5. He has got to be the focal point of the offense.
Well, he was tied up here. Arbuckle will inbound it. And Glash it on the catch. Arbuckle, Becker thought about the three. Quick close by Evans. Back into the hands of Arbuckle. Thought about the drive. Tied up, floats it up, off the mark, and he pushed off going for the rebound. Arbuckle created the shot, but it would not drop that time. And he commits his 4th foul going after the rebound.
Let that right arm extend on the rebound attempt. It's going to get called every time. And now he's really got to be careful with 4.
And because it was a loose ball foul, it puts Rancy at the line on the other end. 53%. He does have 2 shots here with both teams in the double bonus. Been a bit of a tough day for Rancy. Does have 3 points, 6 rebounds, but he has not blocked a single shot for a guy who averaged over 4 a game during the season. And he's been in foul trouble a good chunk of the ball game.
Sometimes, though, you change shots, and those don't show up on the scoreboard or the stat sheet.
Rancy missed the second. Becker hauls it in. So empty trip of the line for Rancy. Stays a 6-point ball game coming up on 4 minutes to play. Still lots of time left. See if the Hawks have another run left in them. Rodel in the corner. Pulls it down. McGlashan on the drive. He's walled off, looking for help. He can't find anybody. Now Becker rolls it into tension. Wants to back down Parsons. Curls around, shot blocked. Rodel blocked on the follow, and there's 2 in a row from Rancy in quick succession.
Right on cue, Ben. As you said, he hadn't registered a block shot until right there. And how about back-to-back? Good effort. Covering a lot of ground in the paint, denying what would have been a 2-point bucket there for the Hawks.
Evans, pull up 2. Count it, and the foul! Tension took away the landing space. They're going to say it was a 3. That one may be reviewed. It was very close to the line. We'll see if we get a look here on the replay. Boy, that's...
Is toe on the line?
It's very close whether those toes hit the line or not, but if that's a 4-point play, that is a huge swing bucket for Caldwell.
This kid has been unreal. 15 points now and counting, but he's done a little bit of everything. Defensively, 3-4 steals in that first half, 4 or 5 assists, 4 or 5 boards. And now again, the biggest bucket to date as we get another look there.
See, it's tough because Parsons kind of comes in at the last second.
Yeah.
But before he does, you do see a little bit of daylight. And it is going to be a 3-point basket.
Yeah, I don't see anything to change it.
So just the 4th made 3 all day for Caldwell. Really, neither team has shot the 3-pointer well in this one. But a chance for a 4-point play for Darnell Evans. And that is massive for the Cougars here as they try to pull away.
The message right now in the Caldwell huddle is do not play to lose. Okay? It's easy to have a 9-point lead and say, okay, let's just coast the last 3.5. Let's just play not to lose. He wants his group to stay aggressive, play with energy, and take the fight, continue to take the fight to St. Anselm here until the final bell. I think that's a strong and appropriate message for the first-year head coach to deliver.
Just twice on the men's side of the East region has there been an 8-1 upset. 2014, Southern New Hampshire did it against Holy Family. 2017, Merrimack did it in Syracuse against Lemoyne. Will Caldwell be the 3rd? Trying to take down number 1 St. Anselm on their home floor in front of one of maybe their largest crowds of the season. And Darnell Evans at the line looking to cap a 4-point play. Free throw short, so the lead stays at 9. Time starting to run out. Becker goes right to the rim, fakes, kicks. McGlashan drives, bounce past Tension, and he traveled.
Got to shoot that. McGlashan's got to shoot that.
But Becker looked like he passed up an open layup too.
Yeah. A little too unselfish that time by the Hawks, and it cost them.
It's their 4th turnover of the half. They've taken better care of the basketball. Well, that time, turnover creeps in at the exact wrong moment. Bueno back in the ball game. He could be a closer for the Cougars. Inside, Bueno catches and lays it in. Great backdoor cut by Bueno. He's got 17, but he's down on the floor. Came down awkwardly on the ankle. Rodel can't get a 3 to go. Rebound tipped out of bounds off Becker. McGlashan begging for them to review this. Let's see what the replay shows. Well, it looked like Becker tipped it.
And I'm not sure if Heber did or not.
Keith Dixon imploring his team to start to press.
Gonna have to now. Less than 3 minutes to go, an 11-point gap. You got to make some things happen here defensively.
Bit of a panic time for the Hawks. You almost never see them employ pressure.
Now it's just a basic weave here.
Darnell Evans a 3, short. Saved into Tension. Quick push. McGlashan up ahead of the pack, lays it in.
It's a good leak out there. And a good pass in stride, nearly the length of the floor for the layup. A rare transition bucket for St. Anselm.
9-point game again. Now Caldwell starting to use a little more clock.
Yeah, running a high set here. Everybody north of the free throw line.
I want to try to find Bueno. Rancy attacks, hangs, and hits. How about Rancy with just his 2nd bucket of the game? Couldn't have come at a better moment.
Tough take.
Tension on the catch. Tried to get it back to Rodel. Spins it away. Becker, a deep 3. Too strong. Chases down his own rebound. Looking for McGlashan. It's tipped away into the hands of Rancy. And now Caldwell can sense it. 11-point game with a minute and a half to go. Tension has to commit the foul in the backcourt.
Crowd's gone quiet. Caldwell has kind of kept the home fans at bay throughout this ball game. They've either played with the lead or it's been tied for all but 52 seconds, and that was at the beginning of the game. So did a good job of coming out and systematically kind of quieting this crowd throughout the course of the basketball game. And it's to the point now where you can almost hear a pin drop with a minute 36 to go.
The fans here cannot believe what they have witnessed after another stellar season for St. Anselm. Looks like the Hawks are going to go crashing out in the first round of the tournament. Free throws good for Evans. He's up to 17. Hawks have to throw up Hail Marys now. Tension to Becker. He goes baseline. Pass to the corner, stolen, and keeping his feet in was Parsons. Foul by Rodel. Heber's going to go to the line for 2 more.
Well, you mentioned the Hawks had taken better care of the ball in the second half, but now 3 of the last 4 trips have been giveaways, and pretty good summary for what Caldwell's been able to do today defensively. They got in the passing lanes in the first half. They flashed those quick hands, picked a couple of pockets, so to speak, and they got out and ran and scored 13, 14 fast break points to build up a double-digit lead at halftime. And that's really been the story, at least in my mind, on what happened here tonight.
Free throw off from Heber, but it's almost academic at this point. Tension drives, lays it up and in. It's going to be a tough finish for the 5th-year senior. Over the top, Rodel has to foul Evans. That's going to be the game for Rodel. Came in, tried to ignite the crowd with a couple threes, but he will foul out of this one.
He gave a valiant effort. Matched up with Bueno down low, going chin to chin. That's some good minutes for the youngster. He's going to be a good piece, I think, moving forward.
And the magical run for the Cougars Looks like it will continue here. Evans back at the line for 2 more. After what has been an amazing turnaround from last season to this. Program record 21 wins, on the verge of making it 22. And just the 3rd ever 8-1 upset on the men's side of the East Regional. And they are going to crash the Northeast 10 party in the 2nd round of the tournament. And we'll await the winner of New Haven and Pace. Trying to slow tension down across mid-court. Taylor with a juggle. Valuable seconds ticking off the clock. Arbuckle. Step back 3 is good. A rare 3 for St. Anselm tonight. Those shots just have not been falling for the Hawks. And another foul called on the inbounds. But the Cougars continue to make their free throws. That one's going to be on Becker.
Well, barring anything unforeseen here, it's looking like the Hawks are going to bow out for the 2nd straight year in the 1st round. So they lost to New Haven, of course, last year. Didn't look like, Ben, they were quite locked in to begin the game. And by the time halftime rolled around, they're down 14 points. It's almost too late at that point. Against a good team, you know, another conference champion, young or not. It's a good basketball team. They proved it. And I'm not sure the Hawks quite knew what they were getting themselves into this afternoon.
McGlashan knocks down a late 3. Cuts the lead to 10. This time Taylor gives the foul. Stops with 46 seconds. And it's going to be Parsons at the line. Again, this Caldwell team, all very good free throw shooters, so they can find a way to put Rancy on the line maybe, but right now Caldwell not giving the Hawks any sort of window here in the final few seconds.
No, Coach Johnson knows that. He's got 4 guards on the floor for a reason. It's going to be interesting to see how they match up tomorrow with either Pace or New Haven.
2 of the better defensive squads in the country. And Caldwell right up there as well, though.
2 of the more physical teams. Caldwell, yeah, they're good defensively, but that's more on speed from the guard spots.
Becker's 3 won't go. Taylor kicks it out. McGlashan again drops another one through. And another foul given, stops the clock with 35.3. McGlashan saying, I wish I could have gotten a few of these earlier.
I think that's tension's 5th. And that may be the end of a stellar career here at St. Anselm for the All-League selection.
Yeah, it is. Thought it was McGlashan who gave the foul there, but it's the 5th for tension. And the crowd will salute the 5th-year senior, originally from California, the last link to the Final Four team in 2019. And there you see the embrace from Keith Dixon.
An emotional moment for sure.
Not the way he wanted his final year of college basketball to come to an end, but Miles Tension certainly a good accounting of himself again tonight. As Evans hits the front end. And credit Caldwell again. They played from in front. Hawks led 2-0. Caldwell expanded their lead to 14 at halftime, opened up a 15-point lead at one point. Hawks got as close as 1, but then Caldwell had the answer out of the timeout. They reeled off 4 straight and have not looked back.
These guards are the difference. Whether we're talking about either Evans, Darnell, Melvin, Mark Heber, is approaching 20. Even Kirk Parsons played well in limited minutes. And the big guy down low, Derek Bueno, really was a difference maker.
And you see Mark Carino, who talked with our Chris Granozio just before the game, now the athletic director at Caldwell, longtime men's basketball coach. The floor at Caldwell's named after him. As Owen McGlashan will get a hand, his career will come to an end as well. 15 points. Some missed threes for McGlashan. And unfortunately, that's going to be sort of the simmering memory of this one for the Hawks. A subpar day shooting the three-pointer, which has long been a weapon for this team.
See if the Hawks give a foul here. I don't think they will. This may be just about it.
Keith Dixon has said that's enough. Heber already starting the applause. He'll take it just about all the way down, leave only 1 second remaining on the clock. And the Cinderella season for the Caldwell Cougars will continue on here in Manchester. The youngest team in the region, maybe the youngest team in the tourney. But Cinderella is still going to be dancing into Sunday. As the Cougars, maybe a lot of people did not give them a chance. They gave themselves a chance, and they dance on. In the first year under Dean Johnson, they pick up their first ever NCAA tournament victory, and they take down the 1 seed St. Anselm. The final score, 80-71.
Gutsy win. They came in ready to play. They brought the intensity. Played smart basketball on the offensive end. Turned the Hawks over. Built up a double-digit lead at halftime. Second half, despite a surge by the Hawks, they were able to thwart any idea of a comeback. I'll tell you what, there's some special players on this team. Darnell Evans, Mark Hebert. These guys are freshmen, sophomores. Derek Bueno's a sophomore. The future is bright. The present, is bright for Caldwell as well as they move on to the round of 32.
Well, from the outside, everyone said they were a year or two ahead of schedule. In the words of Dean Johnson, they are right on time because you never know when you get this opportunity in the NCAA tournament, and this young Cougars team has taken full advantage of the opportunity. A bright smile on the face of the athletic director, Mark Carino. Dean Johnson still all business, and it has been a tremendous, tremendous performance by the Caldwell Cougars today as they become just the third ever team to knock off a 1 seed in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. So it looks like Darnell Evans is making his way over, and we will chat with our Chris Granozio in just a moment. And Evans certainly put his imprint on this one, had maybe the biggest bucket of the second half, Nick.
Yeah.
And right now, Darnell Evans standing by with Chris.
We're with fab freshman Darnell Evans. You were tremendous today. You started out a little cold, 2 of 9 from the floor in the first half, 4 points. Then you exploded for 19 in the second half. What was the difference for you? Were you feeling the jitters?
Nah, it happens. You miss shots, you make shots, and then I just got going, on defensive end with the intensity and the energy. And then my teammates just helped me. They kept telling me, keep shooting, keep going to the basket. I just listened to them, and I had 19 in the second half.
Hard to win in this kind of environment. St. A's always packs the place. Did that play a factor in your mind, or were you just in your zone?
Nah, I was in my zone because me and my teammates, we dogs. So we knew what was going to happen when we came in here. So we just was like, we ready for the challenge, and we came in here and did what we did.
And now let's talk to Derek Bueno very briefly. Derek had 17 points, and you were a beast down low, and you needed a big basket. It seemed like you were there to get provided for your team.
Yeah, sure. Today was a big game, and this is when big-time players show up and play ball.
You showed a lot of poise as a team, and right now, 8 beating the 1, only happened twice before in this region. You're the third time. This is history. Your thoughts on that?
Hey, we're here for the long run. We're here to make a story. My class is a bunch of freshmen and sophomore, and people were doubting us from the beginning of the year. We lost a lot of NE10 schools in the start of the year, but we developed, trusted each other, and from there, sky's the limit for us moving forward.
How about this? You're 0-5 against the NE10 this year. Then you come up to St. Anselm, arguably the toughest place to play, and you knock them off for your first NE10 win. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you guys for your work and everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris, and we will await Dean Johnson heading over to talk with Chris. I'm sure he's going to be elated after this win. Obviously, he had a long wait as an assistant. Got to watch his team in 2 previous NCAA tournaments, and now he's got his first NCAA victory. Dean Johnson standing by with Chris Granozio.
Well, let's talk about poise. You have a team of mostly freshmen and sophomores. They were playing here in a bandbox where it's very hard to win as an opponent. You were 0-5 against the NE10. You come here and you knock off St. A's for your first win against that tough league. Your thoughts on the poise your team displayed today?
Well, I think, first of all, I'll go after your first comment on the 0-5 Northeast 10. We ended that on December 15th. A little bit different team in March than we were back on December 15th. But I will tell you what these kids are, Chris, and you've seen us a little bit this year. They're just resilient, and they don't think they should lose. And I've said it, I think, at the CACC tournament, that we could be playing Duke, North Carolina. They don't think they're losing. And they just have a chip on their shoulder in a good way, and I think they bring it to practice, and I know they bring it to the game. We knew tonight St. A's is a hell of a basketball team and coached by a hell of a coach, that we had to defend and make it tough on them. And I think what we did against Jefferson maybe parlayed it a little bit into tonight, because we defended Timco the same way we did the two kids from St. A's tonight. And, I mean, the whole bench, the team, they did a great job.
So you were on the bench behind Mark Carino for 30-plus years. You finally get your head coaching debut, and here you are winning in an 8-1 game in the NCAA tournament. Are you feeling like you're on another planet?
No, I don't know if I'm feeling. I think the kids are, and I've said it from the beginning. I'm not a 30-year-old young first-year coach. I've been doing this for a long time, and in a lot of different levels with the softball and now with the basketball. But it's all about these kids, and they deserve everything. They work so hard. And, they make shots when they got to make shots. We can make free throws. We got a shot blocker back there. We got guards who can defend. And the physicality of tonight, these kids stepped up, because if you look at them physically, we were not ready to match up physically, but we got big hearts.
One last question.
Sure.
Your game, you had a big lead, 15 points. It was trimmed to 1 at 57-56. At that point, what were you guys thinking? Because then it was a 10-0 run that put you back up double figures.
I've been thinking we've been doing this all year, so we just got to go back on a run. We talked about it at halftime. We knew St. A's was going to make a run. I mean, they're just too good of a team, and this place was a great environment. But we just said every 4 minutes, let's see where we're at. We had a 14-point lead. We had a 12-point lead, and then whatever 1-point lead. But I did tell them, would you have signed up for this back in September? A 1-point lead with 5 minutes left to go in the game? Right where we want to be on a hostile court and hostile crowd. So it's all the credit to them.
Well, congrats on being the third team ever to knock off a 1 from the 8 seed. You almost did it as an assistant at Bentley.
Yeah,
this time you got it done.
Yeah, Jay got us up there, but I guess we get one back 15, 16 years later. But we'll take it. We're looking forward to it. This is going to be a hell of a game. So tomorrow's going to be a tough matchup, too.
All right, thanks, Coach. Okay, back to you guys at the table.
Thank you very much, Chris. Just an unbelievable story, this Caldwell Cougars team, as they dance on into the second round, a rotation of entirely freshman, sophomore players, and they stun the #1 seed, St. Anselm Hawks, on their home floor here in Manchester, 80-71 the final score. Nick, it's a great story. It's a great team, and like their coach just said, they never think they're going to lose.
Yeah, I think that's telling for sure. It's a confident group, a group that clearly is almost itching for a fight. Not in a negative way, as Coach Johnson tried to differentiate there, but there's a difference between confidence and cockiness. This is a confident group that's getting more and more confident by the day with each of these big wins here. Conference champions in the CACC, and now first round winners on the road, no less, at top seed St. A's. So quick turnaround, as we know. Tomorrow's a whole different set of challenges for this group, but even if they do end up bowing out tomorrow, it's been a heck of a ride, and the future is bright for this young group.
Story of the day here at the East Regional, 8 takes out 1. Caldwell fells St. Anselm. Once again, the final score, 80-71. For our sideline reporter, Chris Granozio, my broadcast partner, Nick Anastos, I'm Ben Alcher. We'll sign off for now. Be back with our final game of the day, the 4-5 matchup, as the New Haven Chargers take on the Pace University Setters. Who will Caldwell and Cinderella get tomorrow? Will it be New Haven? Will it be Pace? We'll find out in just a little bit. Again, the final score, Caldwell 80, St. Anselm 71. Back with New Haven and Pace in just a little bit. Coverage of the East Regional here from Manchester, powered by Bridgewater TV.